Well, it's your money, and the folks at Evans Financial want to help you make the most of it. Colin Evans back this week with us here, and our topic today is getting rid of debt. And Colin, maybe you bought some new furniture or something. You got a little debt.
This is great. I go on vacation, and you guys set the place up really nice for me.
I thought you did all this.
No, this. Who went into debt for this? That's what we need.
Exactly. and if they did, how did they get out of it?
You know, we usually talk about this 2 times a year. I usually try and bring this up kind of right after the holidays, then about midway through the year, typically, just because we're getting ready to go into that spending season of the holiday time frame. And we want to actually talk about getting out of debt, because that's a big thing that seems to really just have its grasp around a lot of us today, especially with inflation and the cost of goods today that we've seen increase. So, you know, one of the biggest things you can do is starting out is getting a budget and putting that thing, in motion and really starting tracking those expenses. One of the things that we really want to pay attention to of what do you have coming in, what's coming in versus what is going out. And this is a great time when you can start looking at cutting unnecessary expenses. You know, we've discussed before, like what I like to call our latte factor. So I'm paying $8 for the coffee at a Starbucks versus, $1.50 to do this at the house. There's some ways people can cut corners. Same with subscriptions and things like that. Before you know it, it's like, cut cable TV. It's like, oh, I'll just do a Hulu or a Netflix. And then by the time I resubscribe to everything, I'm back at the same cost that I've already had before.
Or you do I'll do the 3-month free trial and cancel it, and you never do.
And we forget to cancel
Looking
that.
at you stars, that's on me right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And another good one is what we call debt snowballing or debt avalanching. And these are 2 strategies on how to speed up getting out of debt. And that snowball effect was actually probably my favorite one to really guide people in using. And what we do that in the exercise is we have people put their debts from highest all the way down to lowest. And typically, just as human nature, we've seen over the years of, people look at their debts and they go, oh, well, this is a higher credit card. Maybe I should put a little extra on this one each month. But when we look at the snowball structure, we want to put them from high all the way down to low. And anything that we're putting extra funds on, we want to pile that onto the very bottom one on our lowest number. And what we start to do is we really start creating a little bit of a snowball effect as we get higher and higher. We can start ratcheting these up. And the beauty of that one is it really helps us out psychologically, because you can see, like, oh, I knocked the lowest debt off. There's a little bit of a win there. When we go over to the debt avalanche side, that's actually looking at the interest rate and starting at extra payments going on to your highest interest rate ones. Now, the snowball effect does get you out of debt faster, but the avalanche one actually costs you a little bit less because you're paying less in interest rate over that period of time. One of the last things that you can do, and we want to add, it's always something that I love to do is, earn an extra income. I love eBay. When I get on a tear with it, when I find like random stuff around the house, and it's like as soon as I find one, it's like, oh, here's a panini maker you made $24 on. But there's those things that we collect over, just our lifetime in a span that's either we don't use or minimal use, and they can end up, that's a great place to start with and looking for extra funds. There's nothing wrong with grabbing a side gig of, being an Uber driver or a DoorDash. Right. If we've got, some expenses that we need to get rid of, that's a great way to look at those things and to look at doing it. When we start putting that into an actual guide of, hey, we're going to use a debt snowball here, and we already put a budget in place. These are just some tips that really want to help hopefully push somebody into a structure and say, this is a good way I can wrap my head around getting out of debt quickly.
We got some old chairs over there that we could put on eBay too.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Colin, real quick before we go, if anyone wants to get a hold of you guys, suggest topics, what do they do?
Absolutely. info@evansfinancial.com is an email address, or you can just check us out on the web at evansfinancial.com.
All right, it's good to have you back. I'm going to enjoy these chairs a little bit longer while we take a break.